Welcome to the Some Laugh podcast.
It could be like, oh, that was some laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No, there's going to be some.
It's some laugh. So what was your hang about Tap Staff?
Well, I didn't know Tap Staff. I did my show at the Stand last night, and it was, you know, Scottish summer, 17 degrees, and this guy was in there, fucking huge unit, with the singlet on. You guys, wait, singlet's different here. Wait.
Yeah, like a vest.
A vest? Yeah, sorry, you guys say vest. Like,
a vest, I wouldn't say constitutes Tap Staff, though. That's tap
No,
on.
that's Tap Formula 1.
That's a halfway house, isn't it?
Because there's not a lot of people that are wearing a tap and then a vest under it. I don't think these days. Maybe they are.
Wait, what's wearing a tap? I thought a tap was a top.
Aye.
Yeah. Well, you're
so
wearing
a
a top now.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was just like, okay. I got just a tap and a vest. I'm like, but a vest is a tap.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's a type of tap.
it's a type of tap, but then you're like, double tap. You double tap, your tap's on.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, this is the thing, because like he was like, this isn't Tap Staff though, technically. Like he explained this to me. This very large man. So it was like he just huge arms, and he was just explaining to me like this is not Tap Staff.
In terms
Like,
of the
you'd know.
weather?
No, it's in terms of his outfit. He
Yeah,
said
well-
this is technically Tap Staff weather, but my outfit isn't technically Tap Staff. And I was like, why? Because I can't see your nipple. And he said yes, and then he showed me his nipple. And I was like, this is a very friendly crowd. this is not what I've been led to expect from Scottish people.
No. Well, we don't get the chance to put the nipples out that much. The weather's not usually as good.
Well, yeah, it was just, but then, yeah, my query was taps on. Because I'm like, is that, like, there's Tap Staff, which is obviously when you take your top off, for anyone who's not fucking Scottish.
Yeah.
And like, you know, but if you have a shirt on, are you taps on? And they're like, no, that's stupid. And I'm like, you can't call me stupid.
I mean, you
Yeah.
are taps on, but it's just that's the default, isn't it?
It's not. No one is celebrating the fact that it's taps on. It doesn't start raining. I was like, taps on.
It's like a rain delay.
But yeah, I mean, look, I would celebrate taps on at a comedy show. Like, I wouldn't like to be on stage with a bunch of shirtless people.
No, you should never see a nipple at a comedy show.
Never?
Unless it's like David Curios or something, you know, it's like undressing.
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Tap off.
He's always Tap Staff, regardless of weather.
Yeah, he should do a special in Scotland called Tap Staff. That'd be good.
Do people yell that at him when he takes...
Probably here. They
Here
would,
they would, yeah, I
Glasgow, 100%.
So it's like, it's a cause for celebration.
Yes. It's just as Tap Staff weather, it's like, just whenever it's sunny, basically.
It encompasses, for me, it's like, it's not sunny that often, so you got to make the most of it.
Aye.
It's that philosophy distilled into 2 words.
Tap Staff.
Tap Staff.
It sounds kind of uplifting now. I think I've misunderstood this whole thing. Like in my head, I was like, that's fucking stupid. That's like suns out, guns out, which is only for cunts, like exclusively. Like if you do that, you're a dick. But Tap Staff seems to be like, hey, let's enjoy it.
There's an element of dickishness in the Tap Staff, I would say.
It's
You know, but it's also such a general term. That
Okay.
It's not quite. It's, you know, it's no sort of owned by one particular sector of Scottish society.
There's a lot of body positivity wrapped up in it. I
This
think.
is
Of, like,
true.
the amount of people, all different creeds and sizes.
Doesn't it matter what you've got underneath that
the
tap?
great leveler.
Get it off.
It's the fact that it's AF. That's the important bit.
It's the aff that's the key. It's not the tap.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
sure.
about owning it.
Free yourself of the tap. It's very much the Scottish equivalent of like burning your bra or something.
This is your suffragette movement. Just a bunch of the... Like, I assume it's a lads only vibe?
Well, that's a whole other discussion,
Yeah.
isn't it? The free the nipple thing. Yeah, it's a lads only.
I guess so. Actually,
suppose
I never
so.
really thought about that, but right enough.
Well, I wasn't meaning to. Now I feel like I've deflated this whole thing.
Well, listen,
You
this
guys
could be,
are-
you know, it's the start of this conversation in society, I think.
This is true. Yeah, Tap Staff, free the nip.
His and hers Tap Staff.
I'm on for
Unisex Tap Staff. Gender neutral Tap Staff.
Absolutely.
Is that the way forward?
I think so. I think it's head. That's, you know.
Do
I don't know,
you-
because Tap Staff, well, I guess just like, it would just be like bikini weather, basically.
Bikini
for,
weather.
For women, I guess, yeah.
Still a tap, isn't it?
It's still a tap,
It is a
as we
tap.
found out last night.
Yeah,
If you can see
your
a
friend
nipple,
with a
it's if you can't see a nipple, it's a fucking tap, mate.
That's true.
Burlesque, I wouldn't realise. Taps on, apparently. They're covering those nipples up.
It is good that we've started on clothing chat, Daniel, right? Because, well, first of all, for the listeners who won't be aware of this, I'm wearing a daft fucking Seinfeld shirt that I got. Shout out to Percival, who did send us it for free because they follow Ed Knight, not me. But we were in the Percival shop and we were just kicking about London, and there was a Percival shop and they've got a Seinfeld branch. So they just had a big Seinfeld sign, not a Seinfeld shit, and we were like, just in and just thought it was funny and we were hanging. I actually wore it on stage at Stand There Night, and what I said when I went out was, because a lot of Americans in, so they knew what it was, and I went, I says, I bought this, I got given this, and I thought I'll wear it on stage and it'll maybe make me like a better comedian like Seinfeld. And then someone pointed out, oh, actually, that's what Kramer wears in the show. And I was like,
I'm a racist comedian.
I'm like, oh no. The Laugh Factory all over again.
Yeah. Did you do the bit or?
No.
Okay, sure.
And Stuart's actually wearing
I'm also wearing a Mark Jennings top.
Yeah.
I spilled coffee down my arm.
That, I got to say, the fact that you couldn't do a podcast with a stain on you has spoken to me so clearly.
Yeah,
Because I think having a stain on yourself is the height of embarrassment.
I can't deal with it.
I can't deal with it.
I can deal with a lot of embarrassment, but not that. It ruins my day.
I tell you, see, last night I was doing the Kilkenny Festival and I had to go on stage for the last show in the theatre, and I had a nice shirt that I was wanting to wear. My other shirt that I wore in a couple of days before, the other one, I couldn't get it ironed properly, shitey hotel iron, right? So I thought I'll need to wear the blue shirt, which was nicer anyway, but did have a tiny wee stain there.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I just need to live with this.
Did you tuck? I would have tucked.
Nah, because I wouldn't have looked good with the tuck.
Could have gone Tap Staff.
I could have gone Tap
I
Staff.
can't stain Tap Staff.
I mean, you can. That's a tattoo. That is a Tap Staff stain. I
An
believe.
extra stain, yeah.
Yeah.
A permanent stain.
I can only assume that Tap Staff correlates to tattoos pretty fucking often. I feel like that's...
Tap
that-
Staff, Tat Suit.
Tat Staff is when you get it laser removed.
But anyway, so that brings us to your attire, Daniel.
Yes.
You're wearing your infamous or famous or signature, some may say, red Adidas trackie.
That's
that
true.
You always wear on stage. You've even got one made that's got your initials and stuff. I've seen in some of your posters.
Yeah,
Don't know if that
yeah.
was
I've
for
got
legal
the
reasons.
custom one, which is actually Puma, but don't tell Puma. The whole
Is that
point.
right?
The whole point of getting that made was so the Adidas could never be like, "Hey, please stop
Yeah.
associating yourself with our good brand."
Yeah, that's what I and Brew say about us. We are actually drinking the ice cream limited edition Iron Brew Extra. What do you think yet? What do
Yeah,
you
it's
think
good.
about it, Daniel?
I've had maybe 2 or 3 Iron Brews in my life, and this is easily the best one.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
got
And
a
he's
list of
not being
sort of-
paid to say that, unlike me. No, I've not.
It's got sort of cream soda vibe to it.
Aye, that's what I
I'm
thought.
into.
It's cream soda. That's nice.
It's like the Iron Brew sponsorship, like the Nike equivalent for like Scottish people. It's just like, this is what we're all shooting
They
for.
did follow us on Instagram recently. That's
Whoa.
what I'm saying.
Big.
Big news coming.
Is that why you got these?
They did.
This is why you
send
got
me
the
them
extras.
They did send me them in the post, so I've not been. Actually, I bought them once. I got sent one in the post, and so I bought. So I liked
They
it.
gave
so
you
I
a
bought some.
taste and then you needed more.
That's it.
Fucking
one's
classic
free.
brew.
Yeah. But no, it's good. Yeah, no, that would be cool. I get that, but we'll see. Talks are going. But only for the right price, okay? Iron Brew, are you
Just sitting here
listening?
giving it away for free.
No, I know. But I know it's nice, and I guess like the whole thing was it's limited edition because it's a limited Scottish summer. You know, only taps out for a couple of days. But anyway, I
like that there's just this Scottish ethos where there's never enough of anything.
yeah. No, it's not.
That's like what defines you as a culture. It's just like, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, not forever. You better
It'll
fucking
soon
take
be over.
advantage.
Well, I think that the weather in Glasgow is a metaphor for people's attitudes, and it is like, how can you ever be that optimistic when it is sunny and you go, but it'll be raining tomorrow? That is a metaphor for everything. It's like whatever is good, but it'll be shite again soon. That is, it's so hard to not feel that way when the weather is always like that.
Well, like, I'm just trying to think, did you spend time in Australia? Are we optimistic because like it's basically always sunny?
Mate, I don't, because I think this is why so many Scottish people, when they go to Australia, just stay there, because we don't realise that people can live like that. It is unbelievable. I don't understand how people can live normal lives. It's just like you're on holiday all the time.
Yeah, I'm
like
getting
Perth
nothing done.
particularly.
I mean, obviously, if you brought Scottish traditions to Australia, that'd be a problem because it'd be tap staff every day. Like every profession is tap staff. You got like a Supreme Court judge tap staff being like life sentence. A terrifying juxtaposition.
Imagine getting sentenced by a judge. We step up.
Getting bad news at the doctors.
Can you imagine?
Terminal, I'm sorry.
And like you'd know it was bad news coming because the doctor's nipples were hard. You're like, fuck. He always gets excited. It's a nightmare.
It must be a nightmare though, even in Australia. Like you're wearing the trackies, not even folk that wear like they need to wear like a shirt and like trousers and all that to work when it's like fucking 40 degrees and stuff.
Oh, but in Australia, like it's not uncommon to see like a suit top with then like a suit shorts as the bottom. That's
Suit
acceptable.
shorts?
Yeah,
It's
like in like a
acceptable.
finance job, real estate agent, you can cop some knees in that kind of profession.
Really?
That's only like private school, primary school kids I picture in like shorts.
Yeah.
With the long
Yeah.
socks?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, brother. Pull them up,
Yeah.
get the garters in. Why not? Obviously, I'm lying. That's incredibly unacceptable. But I feel like with Australia, you can kind of spin anything. And
Yeah.
people are like, yeah, fair enough.
Well, it's a more laid back culture, I guess.
I wouldn't mind it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I would think real estate agents are less of a cunt if I could see their knees. You know?
But it must be
Humanize
they
them
must be
somehow.
Sweating. They must be fucking sweating.
Oh yeah, but the air conditioning's out of control. Like you guys don't have a device to cool down any room.
There's a fan in that corner. Actually, he's lying.
If you think that fucker can do anything in
In
Australian
Australia, no.
conditions, you're out of your goddamn mind. That's like because I do the Fringe, right? And it's just like in these buildings that are made of sandstone, and you're like, hey, it's quite hot. Like, do we have a fan? And they're like, yeah, you got one little pedestal fan. And I'm like, I don't think that's going to cool down 60 people in a tiny room.
No.
And they're like, have you tried putting a pint full of ice in front of it? And I'm like, what year is it? Like, are you telling me I got to fucking reverse engineer my own air conditioning to get through this next hour?
I was in a little sweatbox at the Fringe one year. Monkey Barrel 5. It's not a room anymore. It's where they play table foosball now. And, there was just constant problems with aircon and like pouring pints of ice in it. And every day you'd like have to time them putting loads of ice into it with like a bit of the show.
Yeah.
Just all over the place. And I had this old granny on my show. Honestly, she must have been in her 80s. I don't know how she ended up at the gig.
Aye.
But I felt really bad for her because I'm like drenched in sweat. Everyone is. It's fucking awful. So we have the door open as well. And then this, because the chairs aren't nailed down, this granny during the show, she was like enjoying the show, but she was just shuffling her chair closer and closer to the door. And it was like the slowest walkout of all time. By the end of the show, she's basically sitting in the hall on her own.
She's just obstructing the door with her chair, being like, fuck, airflow,
Yeah.
finally.
So I don't want to kill this old woman for a 3-star show, man.
I know.
Did she donate?
Yeah, I think she paid at the bucket. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Put some money. It is weird though, isn't it? It's like it is like the Edinburgh Festival's in August, and that is like almost the only time where that heat would be a problem in Scotland. Like it's never a thing. Like there's only a couple of weeks of the year where like I remember doing the Stand Glasgow last year, and I was filming it. It was a solo show.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was fucking like sweating, like it was bright, and I was like, I never even considered that would be a problem with like filming something that I would be so hot I'd be sweating, but it was just because it was like May.
Yeah.
And it was fucking roasting, but like usually you never have that.
Dude, I
problem.
did December in Australia with the tracksuit, which is like 30, 35 degrees. And it was like 2 shows back to back. I did the first show, they didn't turn on the aircon properly. So I'm just like covered in sweat. And then in the second show, they turned the aircon properly. So I'm fine. So if you just watch this thing, you'll just see I'm occasionally glistening. And then it just goes back to a fucking matte finish. And I'm like, wow.
That's it. Right, so what's the tracksuit all about, Daniel?
Well, look, there's no fucking great meaning behind it. I got into it because there's a Stormzy video clip for Shut Up, the song
Aye.
Shut Up, like before he even did his first album. And I was like, that is sick. Like I just like that so much. And then my wife got me one for like a birthday present, and I started wearing it like off stage. And then when I lived here, I caught so many megabuses
Yeah.
that I would wear jeans on the megabus, and it was just torture.
Yeah.
Because you're on this fucking horrific bus for 4 hours, but it actually takes 5. And then like, you get to the gig and you're like dying. So I just started wearing the track pants, and I changed into jeans at the gig because I thought that was like respectable.
Yeah.
You know?
I always wear trackies when I'm traveling on a plane or on a megabus or
Good.
something.
You're like a fucking
yeah.
athlete, dude. You got your travel attire. Then you get
That's
into the
it.
jeans to be professional. And then, yeah, eventually I just forgot them one time. And then I just did the gig in the tracksuit pants, and nobody cared. And I was like, oh, great, I'm just going to do this. And yeah, I like having a uniform for stage. I really like it. I always had one.
Yeah.
I just used to be significantly more bland. Like I used to just do that. I don't know if you've ever been a straight white guy before. Be like, what if I had a t-shirt and a nice fitted jean? So it was like always a grey shirt, black jeans, and then like black shoes.
So it makes
just
you
trainers.
stand out because you've obviously got the tash and the glasses. So I've got a very distinctive look now.
Yeah,
Daniel.
but this was just like life. Like the glasses are real.
Yeah.
The moustache is real. Some people think it's like a Velcro moustache.
It does have a Velcro look to it. Actually.
Well, that's very hurtful. Why is that a good thing? It's
No,
like,
I'm
it looks...
saying it's a good tash.
Oh,
not
thank
that-
you. Yeah, that's what I
strong. It's not. It's like a brush. No, I'm saying it as a
There's a lot
compliment.
of shite moustaches out there now. Because you've had it for longer than like there's a moustache boom at the minute.
There's a moustache
I
boom.
feel like you're not looking at it thinking that's kind of cultural appropriation.
Look, apparently moustaches are Australian. I never thought about this in my life until
Mullets.
Alfie Brown.
Found it to
Alfie
draw in
Brown
Australia,
pointed
and
it
it's
out.
mullet and tash.
Yeah.
Really?
Every day of the week,
Dude,
yeah.
weird. Yeah, no, because like I just thought men have moustaches. That's how they know we're men. You know, that's how you differentiate us from the fucking Sheilas. You know, but yeah, I just grew the moustache, but like it's bad without. Like it's no, you know, I don't have an option. Like I've shaved it because people have been like, oh, because I went to my wife's sister's wedding and her grandfather's in his 90s and he thinks moustaches mean you're gay or Mediterranean.
Right.
Both negative. I don't know if like
A man
equally
of a certain
negative.
generation,
Maybe
I
both.
guess.
These gay Mediterraneans coming in marrying my daughter. But like, you know, no good. But so I shaved it to appease him. And then my wife saw me without it for the first time because I had it the whole relationship. And she was like, no, like that's not on.
It looks weird when if you know someone for having a moustache and then they shave it, they look really naked without it. It's weird.
I look very young. Like
Yeah.
just very, and like, yeah, just it's not good stuff.
And I can't even imagine it, I don't think. But it's good because it's a polarising thing because then it's more distinctive and you stand out more. But do you ever worry, let's say with the tracksuit, for example, that there's people, whether it's like, you know, agents or TV people or something that would go, oh, it doesn't look as professional, so it'd put them off? Or do you just think, I'm just going to put balls out and do it?
If anybody is booking stand-up comedians for their professionalism, they're a fucking idiot. So like, I don't really think that's an issue.
Fair enough.
But like, no, the weird thing was I never wore, when I lived here, I never wore the whole thing on stage. I always thought that'd be a bit like too much. Like they thought I was going to be some fucking character act.
Yeah.
Because like my act is not tracksuity at all.
Well, I think you said that to me because I remember gigging with you in London and I was like, do you know what? I'd fucking love to wear a tracksuit on stage, but with my accent, I would just come across like a fucking bam or a character actor or something. You're like, yeah, you can go with it.
Yeah, no, because I'm just like, it's not that at all. But like, yeah, the reason I started wearing the whole thing the whole time was because I did this gig with Jim Jefferies through Amos, like our mate who's like an Australian comedian.
Which
Jim
was the
Jefferies.
last time I seen you was on his fucking boat in Australia that we brought up a few times in this podcast. But that was the last time I seen Daniel was on his boat.
Yeah, dude, that was like the most bizarre. So it's like Australia Day in Australia, which you don't celebrate anymore, right? Like because it's kind of an awkward day for the indigenous population. So everyone's kind of like, hey, you should.
Well,
just
it's an awkward day for the white population. It was a bad day for, you know, it's a terrible day.
I'm using euphemistic terms. Like, I don't want to get in too much trouble here. But yeah, basically, that was the weirdest thing because like Amos was like, let's just go out on our boat. And then on the boat, it was like me, my wife, him, and then like basically the entire British contingent at the Perth Fringe World Festival.
Yeah.
And then we all went on a boat and then came ashore on Australia Day, which is what the problem was in the first place.
Yeah.
It was like a reenactment at that point. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like, this is just such a bizarre like thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, it is nice, you know? And you're like, what a good day.
I actually went to see Amos's show a couple of weeks later and he basically said that on stage and I was like, did he just orchestrate that whole thing just for that bit? I was wondering why I get invited on that actually, but turns out But
yeah, no, he just likes having a boat. You know? Like Amos is a man who'd like people to know that he has a boat. The fact that you've mentioned it several times on this podcast is probably getting him hard.
I'm not getting invited on a lot of boats, man. You know,
That's the thing, you guys. That was really bizarre because like all the English guys, I can't believe, like you just got like, I can't believe we're on a boat.
Aye.
And I'm like, no, this just happens sometimes.
No,
like as an Australian, you just
often.
end up on a boat occasionally. Like I don't even like boats, but I've been on like 20
Aye.
because like they're just cunts have them.
It's only when we would go to like Greece or Spain or something, you would go a wee booze.
Yeah, I'm never on a boat.
Cruise
yeah,
or a
holiday.
boat or something.
Never on a boat.
No.
Not in Scotland, really, no.
Is it like you guys can all swim, can't you?
That's why we don't need a boat.
Just swim across Loch Lomond, it's fine, man.
Yeah.
But no, anyway, so what were we saying there? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, yeah, about the Jim Jefferies thing. So
Aye.
I did that gig, and like I wasn't supposed to do the gig. I was just like meeting Amos in Birmingham to see like, you know, do the theatre show, see Jim Jefferies' show. Good night for everybody, right? And then I was wearing the tracksuit because I used to wear it just around, like, and then I'd take it off to go on stage. And so I met Jim Jefferies in the tracksuit. He still thinks my name is Tracksuit, by the way. We've met like 10 to 15 times, and Amos would be like, yeah, I'm with Muggleton. And he's like, who? And he's like, Tracksuit. And he's like, oh, that fucking guy. Like, yeah, like for real. That's how he remembers me. And so we went to go out after the show, and we went to go into a bar. And this is like a unique thing to the UK, by the way. A lot of places won't let you in. in a tracksuit.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, there's good reason for that, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get the reason, but if you're assessing my face at the
Probably the
same
same reason
time,
why you wouldn't get let in with your tap off, to be honest. It's a cultural signifier, a tracksuit.
look, well, that's but I'm just like, hear the accent, look at the face.
Aye.
Do you think I'm gonna cause any trouble?
Yeah, if I'm a bouncer, I'm thinking it's kind of an alternative comedian that's coming into the bar.
Aye. It's like an ironic
So that-
hipstery thing. Aye.
So that's why I'm not getting let in. Just like a fucking alternative comedian is going to whip out a prop and play a song on a tiny piano. Fuck this. Anyway, so like I didn't get let into this bar. And then Jim Jefferies is like, fucking this guy. And he's like, fine, we'll go to like another bar. And they let me in. And like basically he punished me for the evening for not getting into this first bar wearing the tracksuit, you know, making me do shots and like all this kind of shit. But at the same time, it was like kind of being like, oh, so where are you working in the UK, all that kind of stuff. Because he came up
Yeah.
over
yeah.
here. Like he came up in the UK, went to America, then kind of came back to Australia. And then, like at the end of the night, you know, all pretty fucked up. This is still the best gig offer I've ever had in my life. It was like in his hotel room with everybody else, party's still going. And he's like, Manchester Arena, tomorrow, 15 minutes, 500 US. And I was like, fuck yeah, that sounds great. And then his tour manager is over there, doesn't even look up from his phone, and he's like 5 to 7, unpaid, and you need to make your own way there. And I was like, still yes, I'll still fucking take it, right? And then so I woke up the next morning and I was like, well, that was weird, but you know, that's not happening. And Amos was like, no, I think it's happening, dude. So this is a weird part of the story, but I woke up in Amos's bed. Amos and I share beds. We're fine with it. It's
Just don't tell your granda.
Yeah, my grandfather-in-law would be pissed. He's like, I fucking knew it. I saw the moustache. I knew it. Amos is kind of Mediterranean. Anyway, so, danger all around.
The two things he hates the most.
I knew it. He's going to be on a list one day. No, so we woke up in there and he's like, yeah, I think it's happening. But I also had Jim Jefferies pants because Jim Jefferies wanted to go to a strip club. And he was like, you're not going to get in with your fucking tracksuit. So just wear my pants.
Do you mean trousers?
Trousers.
Right, sorry, okay.
Pant. Oh, yeah.
That would have, more questions would be raised there, Daniel. Starting to protest too much a wee bit here. Right, hang on, how did you get the
Significantly
pants?
different story. Just wanted to emphasize I was wearing pants in bed with Amos. But yes, his trousers. So I'm wearing those. Well, like those are the only trousers I have. Because mine are still in his room because that's where he went to the strip club from. Right? So I have to go to Manchester from Birmingham on my own, megabus, of course.
Yeah.
You know, this is how I was living, wearing Jim Jefferies
You got
trousers.
a megabus to do the fucking MEN Arena?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
He's not getting paid.
I'm not getting paid.
Right, you know.
5 to 7. But yeah, so like I'm wearing them. There's no belt. Like I'm skinnier than him. So I'm just like constantly pulling up these
Are they
trousers.
joggers at least, no?
No, these are like formal kind
So
of
you're not going to
corduroy.
be comfortable on the bus either?
Not comfortable at
No.
all. Like, you know, the whole plan was ruined.
Why were you not wearing your ones?
Because they were in
He needed to
Jim
wear
Jefferies'
proper
room.
trousers to get into the strip club.
Oh, right, aye. So,
I changed in his room. He was like, just
right.
wear
Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
and
Okay,
we'll sort it out later. And I was like, oh yeah. And so I'm just going up. Like I only had like a backpack with like that day's clothes because like I just thought I was going to Birmingham overnight and then going back home to London.
Yeah.
Because I was flying out of the UK 3 days later. Oh, sorry, 2 days later. 2 days later. This is like my last weekend in the UK. It was like Thursday, the Birmingham thing, Manchester Arena Friday, fly out Monday morning.
Wow.
So it was like pretty nuts. And so, yeah, so I'm like just in Manchester and then we're about to do the gig and I'm like in the tour van and I'm like, can I get my pants? And trousers, fuck, sorry. I just keep saying the wrong word. Can I get my trousers? And then Amos is like, oh, I don't know, man. Like it's kind of just before the show. Like you don't really want to bother him. And I'm like, I would really like to do Manchester Arena in my own trousers.
Would you not be worried he's not going to recognise you with the tracksuit as well?
Exactly. I'm wearing fucking Jim Jefferies trousers, just pulling them up on stage.
He's going to think
trying
you're
do-
him now.
Exactly, yeah. It would have been great if he turned up in the fucking tracksuit. That would have been the ultimate checkmate. But yeah, so I was like, wait, Amos, you got a pair of trackies. Can I just get them from your room? And he's like, oh, fuck, all right. So I go in, weirdly, there was a Manchester United team function, so all the lifts were fucked. It took a while. And I get back, Jim's already in the tour van. He's like, this fucking guy that I've just thrown a gig to the night before throws my tracksuit pants at me. He's like, for fuck's sake. Like, anyway.
You should have just tried to get a pair of red fucking Adidas tracksuit bottoms off of the Man United players.
Hey, has anyone got a spare kit lying around? I just need to do a gig real quick. I'll return it.
So he was all right when he gave
Well,
you them back?
it was just like this fucking guy. But then what apparently, like, because this is the reason I wear it. He's actually the reason I started wearing the whole thing is because I did the gig, like, and I took the tracksuit top off to do the gig, and then I came off stage, and he was like, why do you have a look until you get on stage? And I was like, oh, fuck, that's a pretty good point, actually.
Yeah.
And then I've worn it ever since.
That's cool, man.
That's cool.
That was the thing, yeah, because he was just like, because he met me in the thing, and like on stage, I'm like, oh, I've got to take this off. And he's like,
I kind of thought it'd be more cynical than that, to be honest, because it's such a good marketable kind of thing. It's such a clear look, and like you say, it's useful to have that in comedy.
oh man, it's like so handy. And like the other thing that's great, there's three great things about it. A, you get recognized with it on. B, you take it off, no cunt knows who you are, which is lovely. Like
It's like the Superman thing, like
you just never get bothered at all. And the third thing is, because of the UK thing, when it's like you can't get into certain bars, everyone after a show is like, hey, you want to come get a drink? And you're like, yeah, totally. I love hanging out with the fans. And then you can't get in. And you go home.
Back to the hotel. Easy.
Sorry, guys, I would have loved to. What a shame. Yeah, it's perfect.
that's a way to stop yourself boozing too much and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
100%. Because I'm incorrigible. Like, don't think I'm not. I got a fucking gig from Jim Jefferies at 3 a.m. You know, I'll kick on.
That's great. And because, like you were mentioning earlier on, but like you've got the ones. So, like, see for one of your specials, did you have to get a non-Adidas one with it, like you had your initials on it and stuff?
Yeah, that's what I did. Like, they've never threatened anything, but like, you know, in the show, like I talk about like the Uyghur genocide in China and stuff. And I don't know if you've heard about brands and criticizing China. They tend to take a foul view of it because everything they're doing is great. But you know, so I was just like, just in case. And like, it's cool. Like, it's cool to have custom shit. Like, I don't know if that's just like my white colonialist coming out, but like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if everything looked like me? You know? Like, wouldn't that be a vibe? Like, my phone case is like my head on it. Like, I'm an only child and it shows, you know?
It's interesting you brought up that there because your show that you're taking to Edinburgh, is called How the Whitey Have Fallen.
Yes.
You've had that kind of white thing in the title a few times.
Yeah.
And so do you talk a lot about, like, is it like kind of like to do with like, white privilege and colonialism and these type of things? Particularly, is that part of being Australian and being more conscious of the kind of racism that is in Australia and stuff, or the UK as well, or what's the why is that the name of the show? And
well, just like show names are like, I don't know if it's like the same for you guys. Like, they're just such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of want them to be funny, but like you don't really want them to be like a joke, but you kind of want them to be quick.
yeah,
And so it's just the same as like the tracksuit, I guess. Like, it just gives me something to write to every year, like with the title. Like, don't worry, like the show isn't necessarily about fucking anything. Like, you write the title 6 months before the show, right? But just like, yeah, I had what was it? I had Omar, Mr. White Guy. I had White and Wrong brackets, but mostly white. And then this one's How the Whitey Have Fallen. Right? It just gives me something to put in the title. Like, I thought I was gonna abandon it this year. I was gonna call it More Alive Than the Queen. But then I was like, I don't know. No one will give a shit about that in 3 months.
Yeah.
You know? Well, in Australia, I assume here people still care. But, you know, yeah. Exactly. It's just like whatever. But yeah, like I do talk about that stuff, but like I always kind of have. Like I don't feel the need to because of the title. I just think it's a fun title.
Yeah, because you won one of the award things in the Perth Fringe, didn't you, when you done that show?
I got two kind of weekly award things at Perth for like best comedy and like Critics' Choice for a show that was complete garbage. Like 100%, like it was garbage in Perth. Like I was just talking shit. Like,
was it an early stage of the show? Like,
like it was like the fourth time I'd ever performed it, and they were just like, "This is bloody excellent," and I'm like, "You guys need to diversify your entertainment offerings." But, yeah.
Do you think that they just gave you it because of the name and it looks quite?
Absolutely not. Like, there's nobody who.
So yes, he's acknowledging.
Nah, man, there's nobody who's like less award worthy than a guy who wears a fucking tracksuit and has white in his title every year. Because I did Perth. I know everyone's like this. Dude, I got banned from Facebook advertising all the time because I think I'm a supremacist. Like, for real. Like, that is like constant. Like, yeah, that is an actual
Pretty
thing.
awkward for me sitting here with you and fucking Kramer over here. Trying to keep my powder dry.
Just like Julia Louis-Dreyfus being like, man, I hope I'm not tired with any of these fucking brushes. But yeah, like that happens all the time. Like, I don't know. Like, I just talk about the race stuff because I think it's fun. Like, I think it's interesting. And like, especially in Australia, everyone's like, wouldn't it be handy if we all just moved on? Like, you know?
Aye.
Like, I used to have a joke, actually. That's why this is the sugar-free iron brew. Now it really feels like a fucking product placement, doesn't it? Just like the sugar-free iron brew, because I used to have a joke last year in my show in the UK, which I created for over here, was just like racism in Australia is like the sugar content of iron brew. There used to be more, now there's less, probably still too much. And like, yeah, which is a pretty good assessment, I reckon.
That's good. That is good.
But like, just on appearances, Mark, I don't mean to lash out at you after justifying my look.
Please
like
do.
a fucking actress on the red carpet. Don't you want to hear my ideas? I was wondering if Stu found this like a thing, because you've got very consistent hair, which I find one of the most terrifying things a man can have.
How do you mean? I take that as a compliment. I try. I don't feel it's always as consistently the way that I'd like it to be, but I take that. Thank you. Why do you find it concerning though? That's fine.
Because it's never, in my experience, been an indicator of a quality human being. You know, like just consistent hair. It's like real estate agent, personal trainer, and just, you know, overall prick, I think. But you're lovely.
Thank you.
Which makes me wonder how you've been able to maintain both these aspects.
I've just been lucky that I've still got this head of hair, and you know, because that way when you like, how old are you now?
I'm 34.
Yeah, so like, that way when you get into kind of like early mid-30s and you do start worrying about the hair going.
Yeah,
I think my barber reassures me every time I'm in. You're no losing it and stuff. But I'm always going, is it a wee bit further back and stuff? But I'm happy to maintain it. But I don't know. I mean, can you judge a man based on his hairline?
Yeah,
appearance.
Everyone does all the time.
No,
that's like the ultimate commitment to Tap Staff. It's fucking gone.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I do have an arsehole's hair, but I'm just trying to look nice. Do you know what I mean?
You're gonna watch the next episode and they've shaved it.
No, I wouldn't be doing that.
Just coming in, parting it the other way, being like, I can change. You know, I've got range. No, it's just I'm very jealous of it, I think, because I think my hair is going, and my barber reassures me too. But as if that's not just fucking part of the business model.
If you're bedside manner, that
got to say that.
If you're cutting someone's hair, you're not going to tell them that it's disappearing, because then they're going to cut it less. So this is just business 101.
Yeah. I see when I was on the flight to Ireland at the weekend, there was a guy, and basically it had my hair, but the way that I would. Like the thing I'm trying to do with my hair, he was a guy called Juan, and he was like this, like he was just like obviously like just had all the makeup on, and he looked perfect, but the
How
hair.
do you know he's called Juan?
He had a name badge.
Oh,
Somebody worked on the plane.
I was in here. The
I thought he'd gone up and introduced himself because he liked his hair.
That's exactly what I thought it happened. Like, how do you do that?
See, when he was coming round, I honestly nearly said to him, "How do you do that?"
What was so perfect about his hair? Like?
It was just exactly the way that I would like mine to sit, and I can never quite get it sitting like that. And it was fucking. And then actually, because Susie McCabe was on my flight, and she was like, "Do you want me to go up and use the gate?" And he's like, "It's one gate, another can I?"
Use our privilege to communicate.
Yeah,
I'm just picturing Joanne doing like the hair demonstration, like they do the safety demonstration. You're gonna want to comb it this way, then put it over there, and then these are your ears. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that would have been fucking spectacular, man. But
like,
yeah,
I feel like that's the nicest thing you can do to someone, though. Like if he has great hair and you go up and you're like, "Hey man, I love your hair," like he'd take that home and fucking pleasure himself to it for weeks.
Yeah, well, maybe I know, and I also think he would take it as a compliment if, like, because he might think I'm hitting on him if I'm doing that, which I'm not. I've not got any.
Also a big compliment.
Which is also a big compliment, but I think it would be more of a thing because I've got no ulterior motive other than to just go, "Your hair is immaculate. How do you?" Oh, I suppose my ulterior motive is I want the same hair. So maybe that's
buy
why
your
You should
hair.
have taken a sneaky pic and then showed your barber.
I honestly nearly done that as well. I nearly took a picture of him, and I was hoping he was going to be in my flight home so that I would have asked him if he was on it today.
Dude, you should chance it next time you go into the barber. Hey, can I get the Joanne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just see.
Aer
Just see if it's
Lingus.
well known.
Trim the top and a Juan on the side.
No man, but no, well,
Well, because like the reason the compliment, like I've had a couple of people come up and just compliment the tracksuit and like move on with their day, and it's like it brings me that so much joy.
Yeah.
Like the custom one, they're like, dude, what is that? Is that custom? And I'm like, yeah.
Why did you not just wear that one all the time now?
Oh, because I've only got 2 of them and they were quite expensive to get done.
Do you think it's like if you had, because it's kind of your merch, it's like, and do you think it's a bit like embarrassing if you're cutting about in your own Daniel Muggleton
Dude, I've got my
tracksuit?
head on my phone tiled 42 times. Like that's a level of shame I've processed and been okay with.
What do you
know?
mean?
Like it's like the
That's your
phone
screensaver?
case. The phone case
Oh.
is my head, like a cartoon of my head tiled like 42 times.
Mark's
It
is
was-
just 42 pictures of Juan.
That's a screensaver.
just like a motivational poster. One day I can reach Jawan.
Yeah, because you've got like, because that's the thing. Like, I seen a guy and he's a comic and he's got a van and he's just got like his socials not on the back of it, like he's like a tradesman.
That's
But it's just like comedian. But like, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? But also, like, I don't know. It just
Who's seeing a van though and going,
He must be doing
I
well.
need a comedian? Yeah.
I've been looking for a comedian. It's like I'm obsessed with these. Like, you see them a lot in Glasgow. Like they like, zip tie these like signs to traffic lights, and it just says plasterer, and then has a mobile number, and that's all the information. Just for, like in this day, all the advertising and marketing that you need to do, are people really just seeing a fucking number at a traffic lights, phone it? Hello, is that a plasterer?
How badly do you need a plaster?
You can just like, he's pretty good with a zip tie. I'm pretty sure he can handle grout. You know?
I seen your advert at Annie's Land Cross, and I just thought, you know, you're the perfect person for me.
There's Australian comedian who's excellent. John Cruikshank had one of my favorite jokes ever about a tennis court that was on the walk to the Comedy Store in Sydney, and on the tennis court, all it had was a mobile phone number. Like that was the only piece of advertising. And his bit was just mobile phone number, and it's just like, yeah, you know, which I assume was to book the tennis court, but I didn't know. There was no explanation. So what I did is I sent that mobile phone number, my phone number, and we'll see how good at tennis this bloke really is. Such a good joke. John Cruikshank.
Do you know what I remembered as well? Like, see when I was in LA, you helped me out. You done me a solid because you put me in touch with Jay Light.
Yeah,
When I
Jay's
was-
awesome.
Yeah, he came over and done some spots on a compilation I'd done at Fringe, but because I was there for a couple of days and you put me in touch with him, and he took me in. He was doing the belly room at the store in LA.
Yeah.
And took me in. I got to sit in and watch and see the comics, and no, that was really cool. Like, just to get a wee insight into that, and I had a mad time when I was there actually.
Yeah.
Because I went along to see, because this was right. I should probably preface this right by saying this was before Chappelle completely, like, you know, went after rails with all that stuff. I don't know what you think of the stuff, but I'm not as big a fan anymore. He's, you know, he fucked it. He's, you know, whatever. But at the time, I was, you know, still a big fan of that. And he'd been at the store the previous night, and I got tickets for the Friday. But then I turned up to LA on the Thursday, and I thought, well, he's probably going to go. If he's going to go back, he's going to go on a Thursday and like a weekend, didn't he? So I just got tickets for the Thursday. Seen all these acts, Sarah Silverman and fucking Dane Cook and Michael Rappaport and these people. He's unreal, and it's cool, really cool venue, just cool to see it. And then fucking, I'm sitting out. He sat outside the wee bar outside, and he's sitting outside talking to some like this American woman who's just like a big comedy fan. And then fucking this this sort of Hummer thing just pulls up, and Chappelle's in it with the fucking sunglasses, and then he comes out and it's like fucking Elvis or something turning up, and like everyone's giving him high fives and all that as he comes into the parking lot. And then there's like, he went into the original room in the store, and so you need to pay to get in, but at that point in the night, people were kind of leaving and stuff, and like, so you could just wait, and if people left, you would then get their seats, and you would just need to pay the 2 drink minimum thing. So I just kind of hung about and done that, and then I got in, and I got to see him to like an hour and a half.
You did an hour and a half.
Him and Neil Brennan on
Tight set
stage.
for him,
I know, and it was great. It was just like unreal, and it was just because you were just like, it was just fucking about, and it was just like, it was amazing. It was just one of the, and it was my first ever night in LA, and that happened, and I was just like, this was fucking unbelievable. But then the second night I went back, and Jay took me to the belly room, and to be fair, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying this, because the belly room's booked separately, right? So it's like an independent promoter, and that night, Jay, great comic, rest of the lineup, one of the worst fucking shows I've ever seen. To the point where I was like, I was dressed like a fucking fanny, right? Not dissimilar to how I'm dressed right now. I came from Venice.
The hair, the same.
That's that. I went to Venice Beach and then I came back. I actually had a cap on, so my hair wasn't even on point. So, but I actually was so close to going up to the compere because I seen him walking about with the and I was like, just please let me do like 3 minutes. And because it was all these like failed actors, none of them had punchlines, none of them had jokes. I'm like, just let me do. But then they probably didn't understand anything I said. But I was confident that I'd went up, but I didn't want to be that dick trying to go on. But then I probably should have done because like then I could have said I'd played the Comedy Store in LA. But I
Must
don't
be
know.
so hard to get a slot there though when folk like Sarah Silverman are turning up every week.
Yeah, but not in the belly room.
Not in the belly room. Belly room, you can jump on in the belly room.
Right.
You can do like potluck and do the original room as well. That's like the open mic thing they run.
So
you do like 3 minutes or something. It's like it's so short.
Fuck 3 minutes.
Like
This is mental, isn't it?
yeah, no, the American stuff is crazy, man. They just like I remember when I've been in LA, I've been at these like bar shows that are attended by like 11 people, and someone who's like on Saturday Night Live is doing a spot, and I'm like, that's so hard, you know?
crazy,
Like
isn't it?
you thought at that point you're getting fucking full rooms. Like I was thinking about the UK, like the level of support for stand-up comedy in the UK is such like a unique thing. Like people will just go watch comedy like as a concept. Like
Aye.
they're not going to see a specific comedian they like. They're just checking it out. Like that's the thing. Here you're like, oh man, quiet night, only got 80 in. Like in Australia, outside of like 4 rooms, like you'd be like, fuck, 80. We're killing it. You know, this is a monster crowd.
Yeah. And so how do you find that compares then to the scene in Australia? It's just not the same infrastructure there, basically.
No way. And like people just don't like if you say you do comedy here, people would be like, oh, I go to this club. Like, have you ever played it? There's also this one down the road, which I like. Whereas like in Australia, you say I do comedy. They're like, oh, I've seen comedy. And you're like, oh yeah. And they're like, yeah, I saw Carl Barron at the town hall. That's it. Like just one guy at the town hall once. They've seen it. They'll never go again. Like honestly, I've said this before. Like comedy in Australia is like cricket in America. Like there are people who do it and they're quite passionate about it. Then there's like their extended friends and then some people who've moved there who also like it still. And everyone else is just like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know, this is not a sport here. Like we couldn't give a shit.
There is some nice rooms. Like that one in Perth, the Comedy Lounge was really good.
Killer.
It's a great room, that. And I guess that's maybe like the only show in town a wee bit. And then I don't know what it's like the Sydney Comedy Store I actually done once as well, and it was really lovely.
Yeah.
But I guess there's like the 1 or 2 clubs, but there's not the kind of circuit, as you say, that you've got here where you can gig every weekend and, you know, wee pub gigs can be dead full and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can make a living like just doing live shows. Like you don't have like TV credits, and you can just like make a good living. You can afford a house. Like, you know, you can do all this stuff. Like in Australia, like it's the festivals, and then like the people like they work cruise ships or do corporates. Like that's basically
That's
like
it.
how they make it work. Like I'm lucky enough that I can kind of sell enough tickets, but like, you know, it's convincing people that it's a thing. Like it's like, no, you can just come, like be in the room, you can do it. And they're like, what? But I've never even heard of you. And it's like, it doesn't matter. It might be good. You know, that was the greatest thing that happened to Australian comedy was COVID, because it forced Australian audiences to watch Australian comedians because you cunts weren't allowed in.
Yeah.
Like, that was a game changer. People were just like, oh, I guess we can see a local. You know, it was huge.
And because the Perth Festival's a wee bit quieter this year, though, do you think, like, because people had got used to international acts not coming, that had affected it? Or was it more the advertising thing?
Well, Perth is a weird one because Perth is like the state that wouldn't let anybody in.
Yeah.
Like you, as an Australian, like from not WA, you couldn't get into Perth for like 2 years. Like you just couldn't get in without quarantining for like 2 weeks at your own expense, like which
if
is
you were
like
in, like,
£2,000.
Melbourne or Sydney or something, you couldn't get in without doing
That's
that.
what you had to do. So like the thing with Perth is like they had 2 years of the Perth Festival where they could only see the acts that are in Perth. And Perth is a small place with not that many acts. So they're just kind of like, I think I've seen everybody twice. I think that's kind of what happened this year. But I don't know. I'd never been to Perth before. Like it's hilarious. Like I went to Perth this year for the first time, was the longest I'd spent in Perth outside of doing like tour support for Steve Hofstetter, where I was there for literally like 18 hours. But I've been to the UK like 7 times.
That's hilarious.
Like I just never go to Perth.
So I'd been to Perth more than you.
Yeah, isn't that mental? Like just like I just don't go. Like I've been to New York like 5 times.
Yeah.
Like Perth twice.
Fuck's sake.
Do you see yourself staying in Australia long term? Because I know you've lived in the UK, right? You lived in London.
Yeah, I
for a
lived in
bit.
London. I
Did you
loved
start
it.
comedy in London, or did you start?
No, I started in Australia. I came over here. This is like when I moved to the UK and I was like, I'm going to do it professionally now. Like
Yeah.
that was my big, like, I'm not going to have another job. I'm just going to see if it works. Because like in Australia, it was like not going particularly well. Like it was going like fine, I guess. But like, you know, I never, there was no way that I'd be able to, like, I'm incredibly grateful to the UK because I feel like this is where I kind of felt accepted by like the UK comedy community, and then like got to do it full time and just do these shows all the time. Like I was on mega buses all the time, man. Like I got Flix buses to Brussels twice. Like I got a bus to Europe twice. I was literally delayed one night because refugees had the wrong papers. Like this is the level of transport I was taking in order to just take any fucking gig I could.
Yeah.
And like I just did gigs everywhere, and like I got to kind of build up. And then just when I was kind of in with a lot of clubs and everything was going well, my wife got a good job and we moved back. But you know, it was a fun ride.
I know your wife's here in Scotland working. from
Yeah,
home
exactly.
while you're
Yeah,
here.
that's why we went back, because she got a remote work job.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, that's more important. I've never seen a comedian whose career is successful enough that it makes up for his shitty home life. That's the one thing that I took out of the UK. You know, those people who like ostensibly are doing very, very well, and then you like talk to them and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, life's a misery.
Yeah, you're just like, I think my family is more important than this.
Yeah.
Which what a fucking hero I am for saying that. What a modern man.
Well, you also fucking live in Sydney as well, which is, I'm sure, a very nice fucking thing to...
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like also the reason I think, and this has been taken poorly and well at different points, but the reason I think UK people come to comedy so much is because their houses are generally a bit more shit. So they want to leave. Whereas like in Australia, it's like you got a barbecue, you got a living room, you're good.
Yeah. Well, it's more of an... It's just we do more indoor stuff as well. Like there's outdoor culture in Australia that we just don't have the fucking weather for. Apart from, as we have mentioned, Tap Staff.
That's that.
It does. Like when we do this when it's sunny and
Yeah.
it feels fucked up.
The
And
last time we wore
waste of a
shorts
day.
was about 13 months ago on this podcast.
Yeah, this is a jump scare for the viewers this week. But like, I was at a gig yesterday. I went to see Maryland's preview at 5,
Aye.
and it was like stunning day, and it felt fucked up beyond belief to go down into a grotty basement.
Yeah.
Well, I was in that
And then
grotty
you were on
basement
right after, right?
3 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was the thing. It was really funny because I spoke to the door, like the people at the stand who were so lovely. And I was just like, do you get many walk-ups here? And they're like, today? No. Just like absolutely zero chance. I was like, oh, fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
Sometimes you're just like on a sunny day and you've got a gig that night, and obviously you just want to be on the beers as well and be outside.
Yeah.
And you just see loads of people that probably have tickets looking, going, nah, fuck
Nah.
that.
Let's just stay in the beer
This could
garden.
be sold out and pulled tonight.
Aye, 100%. I remember one of the only times that I'd ever been at the stand and it got pulled. It was the night, I think it was like a World Cup final, and it was fucking scorching. And it was a Sunday, like they used to, this guy, Michael Redmond, who you had a similar moustache to you actually, used to run the Sundays. And yeah, and like I think 3 people showed up and they just pulled it. And it's like, that's like unheard of at the stand, like to pull. And that was before COVID, and they used to have shows on every single night. But yeah, it was madness, but it was just like, yeah, there's nobody turning up for this, man. It's fucking scorching, and the World Cup finals on.
It's so funny that Australia is the complete opposite. Like people come out more when the weather's good. Like
Really?
like when
But
you
it's
think,
so hot that you want to be inside there.
yeah,
It's like the opposite of here, I've thought, because you can't go outside, but for the exact opposite, because the weather's too good
Yeah.
there that you will fucking literally get skin cancer if you're out for 5 minutes. Whereas here it's like you just don't want to catch hypothermia.
I
This
gotta
must be
say,
why there's no good comedians in like Spain and Italy and everything like that. It's just perfect temperatures.
all the time, and the houses are fine. You're
Yeah.
fucked. It's
Yeah.
over.
Well, it's like when you go and do, like, it's probably like it's better to gig in like kind of rough working class cities than like posh ones, because like people are happy there. Well, they don't need to laugh. You know what I mean? They don't.
Have you guys ever had that where you just come out to a crowd full of like good-looking, in-shape people who are like in relationships, and you're like, this is going to be a fucking nightmare. Like they don't need this. What are you doing here? What is your home life?
You
My
go up and talk
God.
about how fucked your life is, and like, can't
They
relate.
can't relate to it.
That's so weird. Everything's going so well for us. We got a boat.
Well, it's like I always like, see when I first started going to London, and I would do stuff about like working in a supermarket or something, and you're like, all the crowd are just all these mad yuppies, and like that are just the like well off middle class, like kind of young, like 20s, 30s people, and like they can't relate because none of them work in Cafe Nero's or anything in London and all this kind of stuff.
Well, I gotta say, when I flew out of Manchester Airport last week, and there was someone working at the KFC there, which I went to because I live a good life. This is like 6 a.m. It was generally one of the instances of self-harm that I can remember recently. But the guy working there was in his like 70s, and it threw me. Like it really
That guy loves live comedy.
just always at the Frog and Bucket every fucking day. He goes bucket to bucket,
yeah.
bucket to bucket. KFC Frog. We love them all. But no, just like you just don't see that in Australia. Like those jobs are for teenagers. Like that's what those jobs are for. Like supermarket as well. Like, you very rarely see like a adult at a checkout.
But
It tends to be a lot of people kind of retire and then they take jobs like that though. Younger and older.
And it's because like all the older cunts in Australia have all got money. They don't need to be working in KFC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't really like. I mean, maybe I'm generalising.
No, but you're spot on. They've all got money and they won't give it back. they hoard it. They keep it. It's very rude.
Just buy a ticket to my show, fucking. You know,
You don't have to turn up. I don't mind. I'll take an empty chair. But no, just like that's like that's kind of like weird for me to just from an Australian perspective. Like you just don't see that. Like he was like just like an old man with like a hat and a name tag, and I was like, this is like volunteer. What? Like you're just trying to keep busy? Like what's going on?
Aye.
But yeah, it's just different, I guess.
I remember when, this is kind of by the by, but when I used to work in Argos in Kirkcaldy, there was a bunch of old boys used to work in like the back room, like the stock room, putting all the shit away. And there was this really convoluted system where like it was like codes for where everything should be. So it'd be like, the toasters go in A506 or whatever. And you used to have to speak into this headset, but it's all these old boys for Fife that refused to pronounce it incorrectly. And they'd be walking around going, Alpha, Bravo, 6, Kennedy, no! And, oh, well, fuck you then. You just hear like all these old boys just swearing into these headsets. But no one can sack them because it's just like old guys.
No, it's like, it's a different thing, isn't it? But I know, there was always a few, like, there was a greeter when I worked in Asda, and he was like an old guy, and he was just kind of kick about, but it's like, he's getting paid for nothing. He was just there to say hi to people. But he was always
like Troy Hawk.
Troy
Hawk without charisma.
He's the greeter skills, man.
That's so funny. That's how he got his start. He's just like working in there being like, I could take this thing fucking pro.
He started filming. That's online content.
I can imagine him still doing that when he's like 70.
It'd
be great.
It'd be brilliant.
Another great Tash.
Yeah.
Oh,
very good Tash. Slightly less real than mine. Can we say that? Is that industry insider? I don't know.
That's a scoop.
That's a scoop? Oh shit, I can't believe I've ratted out the Tash community. Generally we're a closed fucking circle. Yeah.
So what how did you end up getting into doing stand up then in Australia?
Someone told me to. Which like,
do you just do things that people tell you? Jim Jefferies tells you really fucking tracksuit. Some guy.
This is how I find out that I'm very easily led. That's why I like stand up. Be here at this time and talk for this long, and I'm like, thanks.
I can't wait to finish this then, and I'll get your tap off.
Man, I fucking probably would. That's like the funniest thing. Like audiences who think they could make you do things. Like, have you had that before?
Trying to get you to down a pint and shit.
If you ever mention something like, I should do this or something, then they go, woo! So you just
and you're like, do you think this is the first time people have wooed for me?
Yeah.
Like, I do this all the fucking time. This is my job. You think applause will make me take my top off because you said so? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, it's like when this happened last night in Kilkenny and all, it's like there was a couple of people sitting at the back and they tried to get them. Twice they done that thing of like, oh come on, right, give them a round of applause as they make their way to the front. And they done it twice and they just fucking sat there. They're like, no, we're not moving. And then what can you do? Just move on.
Dude, in Edinburgh on Saturday, I have this joke where I kind of like hump the air to explain fertility,
Sure.
It's very educational. It's good stuff. I'm solutions based as a comic, but so I'm humping the air and this lady goes, what are you doing? I'd never had that before in my life. Like I've done that joke like, for a year and a half. Like it's in like my film fucking special. And like no one's ever critiqued me. But this one lady on a 30th was like, what's that? And I'm like, is my technique bad? And she's like, yeah, no wonder your wife's not pregnant. And I was like, fucking hell. And then I just had 5 minutes like being very self-conscious about humping the air. And I feel that's very UK. You guys will do that. Australia will be like, yeah, he doesn't know how to fuck. I'll keep it to myself.
That's why it's also like, see, whenever you do a physical bit or something or like in like stand-up, that would be the worst. heckle you could get imaginable.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
So to the point.
Yeah, it's just like, it just really, like, I, you know, obviously played it up a bit for the show, but like genuinely, internally, I was just like, do I fuck wrong? Like, I've watched so much pornography. I think, you know, that thing is like when
It's
you
ruined your acting.
I don't know, when you do like sport and like you think you're doing it like the professionals, and you see some video of you and you're like, oh my God, like I look special needs out there. This is garbage. And I'm like, is that what it's been this whole time? But every other audience is too polite.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, is
Better
that
than
why?
actually fucking someone and they're going, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had that yet.
I'll take it with a crowd full of strangers, not my wife being like, look, we've been together 3 years. It's finally time for you to know that is not how standing doggy works. I'm like, oh, shit.
So who was it that told you to get into stand-up?
This guy at law school. I'm a law kid.
Right?
And he was just like, you should do comedy at like the Comedy Society. I'm head of the Comedy Society. And I was like, okay. And I did it, and it was like, it went okay. Like the first one went pretty good, and the second one went so bad. Like I was trying to do some like joke about like abortion, because like I was kind of in the midst of like a pregnancy scare, and I'm like, you know what real comedians do? They take it to the stage. 22, some
With their
fucking
5 minutes of experience.
Exactly. Doing a completely new 5 to the last time, being like, let's fucking talk through this with them. And it went so bad that I was like, I'm never doing that again. And I didn't do it for maybe like a year and a half. And then I was like in New York visiting like another girlfriend, basically. And it was a long distance relationship, and she hated me by that point. So she was pretty much ignoring me. So I was like, why don't I do some open mics? You know? And I just started doing some open mics in New York.
In New York?
And then I kind of, I did like a bunch of them in like the 3 weeks. And yeah, like I wasn't good.
No.
Like, I don't know, like I'd be amazed. I've met some people who are good at the beginning, and they always shock me to my core. I was so bad for so long. Like, I don't really know why I kept going. It was pure straight white male delusion, you know? That's the only thing that kept me going.
Well,
It gets a bad name, but it's useful for getting good at stuff, innit, in the long haul.
Super handy. Would we have made it up Everest without, you know, that?
Well, that's true, but I mean, and there is a bit of that, I think. But there's also, you know, I always kind of went into it with what I now know is called the growth mindset, where it's basically like you think that these people. That's people say that in comedy all the time. You're either funny or you're no. There's these people that are the funny guys, and they'll go on and do comedy, and then you know there's everybody else, and that's just not how the world works. And it's like when I realised that, it's like, oh, stand up's this thing that's like a craft that if you work at it, you can get better. Like most skills, then you go, oh, there's not these guys. And actually, the best guys usually are just the people that work the hardest at it. But you do see people that do have natural talents and abilities that when they're starting out, you can see they've got something.
You can usually say, oh, this person will be good in 3 years.
But it's like footballers or something. It's like, you know, there's all these, everybody's got like some story about like, oh, I was the best player in school and better than the guy that made it professional. But the guy that made it professional worked harder, and so
100%.
he got there. So it's like,
So fuck.
yeah. So you know what I mean. So like, I just
during this conversation, I feel like we're kind of connecting on this, and it's Stu's like, I was a fucking crusher. From day one.
Not so.
I was an absolute weapon. What the fuck are these losers
Straight in the
talking
fucking
about?
womb, just crushing.
see with the law thing, like
Yeah.
see, because obviously, like, if you being able to make a strong argument, do you think that's helped you write stand-up material? Because that's basically what it is, isn't it? Arguing a point in a funny way.
I'm just picturing the Tap Staff lawyer.
Or wear a tracksuit.
Just like rubbing his nipples, case closed. Just like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm going to get you off. And it's like, yes, I'm going to get your taps off. No, sorry. So stupid. Yeah, like I think law, like I didn't work very hard at it. Like it's a 5-year degree in Australia. Like you kind of do it combined. And I did it like straight out of high school because I was just like, well, I guess I'll do that, you know? And then like halfway through, I was like, well, this is fucking stupid. I don't want to do this at all. But my parents are like, please just finish the degree. I think for them, you know, like that kind of, if I finish it, then they can't be accused of being bad parents.
Yeah.
Whereas if I drop out halfway through, they're like, you fucking idiot. You should have forced him. You know, like it's just a bit of a coverall for them. But like, law is handy in like structuring thought. Like outside of the very practical applications of law about like, I know that, you know, murder requires mens rea and actus reus. Like, you know, that it is just good in structuring a thought because, you know, with not everyone's stand-up is making an argument, but like mine certainly is. It's like I think of something that I believe in and then I just justify it in a funny way until other people are like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got a joke at the moment about advertising on homeless people.
Right.
And that started out in a very terrible place. But eventually now people are like, yeah, you make some good points. And I'm like, you shouldn't think that either. You know, like this isn't a good idea, you fucking marketing psycho. But like, yeah, I definitely agree with that. It just like kind of gets you to do that. But that said, like writing it took me so long to write a joke. Like I hosted pub trivia. That was like my job.
What's that?
Pub quiz.
A pub quiz?
Pub quiz, sorry.
It's
yeah.
funny that that's what you would call it. Is that the Australian name for pub
I think
quiz?
in America they call it that, don't they?
Pub trivia.
trivia.
I think so.
Yeah, it was. I worked for Quizmeisters Trivia, and like that was the thing because I do these trivia nights, and I literally be on the mic. You were supposed to be on for 2 hours. I didn't know because no one was kind of there to observe you. I did like 3 hours.
You're the Chappelle of pub
Yeah.
quiz. You're horribly
Very
anti-trans.
Just like question 1: what is a woman? It's a multiple choice. Sorry. Sorry, that'd just be such a funny. Like you just get banned from comedy, so you start doing the pub trivia circuit.
He's the Britain's only alt-right pub quiz master.
Oh man, it's just like who controls the weather? The Jews. B. The Jews. C. The Jews. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. So I did that, and like that was kind of how I became comfortable on like a microphone.
Yeah.
And then like the joke writing thing kind of took a while because I was very kind of like crowd work is still like kind of my safety net. I know for some people they're like that is the worst thing that could possibly happen, but for me it's like if something isn't working, I'm in the crowd, I'm figuring out their vibe, and then I'm getting back into the gear. But like that said, like I think when people come to see me because like a lot of my clips are crowd work, they're like, "Oh, why aren't you doing crowd work?" And I'm like, "Because I got a fucking show, mate. Like, you know, I got things to say."
That's the hard thing because you don't like crowd work clips are great because you know you can put out content without burning material, but then that's the danger is that people come along wanting that. I suppose which you can give them, but then you just need them to listen to.
Do you try and explain to them what it's going to be?
No,
Because I just supported Vittorio the other week there
Aye.
because he does a lot of crowd work and that, and he has to come out at the top, which I think is smart actually. And he's like, you know, my opener's going to be on in a minute, but just so you know what to expect. This is an actual show I've written. It's not like I'm not just asking you all what you do for a living.
Aye.
oh wow, he
time.
does that.
Yeah, which I think is quite a wise move.
Yeah.
I mean,
But then
wise
also-
or cowardly? Like that's
Why can't it be both?
My thing with that is that like there is I mean even though it seems mad when you've been doing it like for a while, but there is people that do just go along to a stand-up show and think that you're just making it up on the spot, and that's
Mental,
kind of
innit?
the conceit of it. So to just come out and say that like being that meta, which everybody is at times, but to just come out and say I've wrote a show, which people do all the time, and particularly in Edinburgh and stuff, but like it kind of takes away that conceit a wee bit. But at the same time, it's good to manage their expectations, I suppose.
So you think taking away the conceit's like a bad thing? Like, as in, like, kind of ruins the magic a little bit? Like,
Aye, 'cause
where...
that-
I think
the
if you're
whole-
meant to be conversational, then
The whole thing is that you're just making it all up. Like to a regular punter, it's meant to just look like you're funny all the time. But then I do think nowadays, like podcasts and stuff, has maybe broken that down because, like, you know, it'd be the weirdest conversation you ever had, right? See the way that like you're meant to get a laugh every 20 seconds in stand up, right? If you just like sat in a pub and listened to somebody talk non-stop on their own for an hour and every 20 seconds people were laughing, the weirdest conversation you've ever had in your life.
be unbearable.
I mean, to be honest, it was kind of like when we had Raymond Mearns on here. But
It's different, man.
yeah, but so it's like because it's just it would be impossible to be that. So that's why it obviously has to be structured and stuff. But then I feel like if people kind of like watch any comic that they like, and you know, just in a normal conversation, you just have a chat and there's funny bits, and you know, it's not all laugh as we say on this. But like people go, oh, he's not like that all the time, like just joke. So maybe there's more of a thing now because of podcasts and stuff that people understand there is a kind of a written that conceit from stand-up's gone basically. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely find the one interesting where people don't realize the stuff on TV is written. Like, you know,
Once
the
a week
people,
or something
yeah,
like that.
like
That's
the amount
mental,
of
innit?
the amount of people that are just like, yeah, they're just so quick, and I'm like, they paid 5 cunts to write that. Like, are you insane?
Well,
Like,
I get that a lot whenever I do. There's a thing called Breaking the News. It's the like Scottish panel show here, and like I've done that, and like whenever I've mentioned to like somebody, like if it's like a girl I'm dating or something, and I go, I've got the brief through and I'm working on the jokes, and they're like, oh, do you get that in advance? And I was like, well, aye, because otherwise it would just be shit.
There'd be zero quality control.
You know, like you just would be like, the Prime Minister, yeah,
Come back to me.
Bit of a dick, isn't he? Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, it's, you know, but that's the whole conceit of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember when I was young and I watched Chris Rock's special, and I remember one thing and I was like, how is he not bursting out laughing? What he's saying is so funny. Like, how can he not? Like, how can he keep a straight face saying this? And now you realise it's because you're fucking bored of the shit.
That's like the funny thing about laughing at your own jokes. Like, obviously you've said them like a lot of times, but I don't know about you guys. Like, I still laugh sometimes at some things, and it's not forced. Like, I'm
the same.
I'm not using it as like a device, but like for some reason, you know, the light hits it different that night.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
And
you
it's
see that
You're
guy's
actually
arm.
thinking about it and you remember why it was funny in the first place.
Yeah.
Or you're just responding to their reaction to it, I think, a lot of the time. Because,
Yeah.
like, there's a comic who's based in Scotland called Paul McDaniel's, an Irish guy, right? And he's one of those guys that, like, he's just such a comic, and I'll watch him I've seen his set.
A million.
He's-
I
he
could do it right now.
Paul hasn't really changed his set a lot, but he's so funny. And I'll watch him every time, and you pure laugh, but you're laughing at the reaction the audience are
Yeah,
having
you're
to
just
hearing it.
delighted by how delighted they are.
Yeah, and it's great. And I think that's maybe the same thing that why you laugh at your own stuff, because you know it, but you're laughing just at their reaction to it sometimes, you know?
Yeah, like, sorry, it's so funny because I was at the stand last night and they've got a photo of Paul McDaniel, but it's like really little, and it's called Small McDaniel. And I remember seeing that and I was like, what? And like Michael Welch like explained it to me. He's like, oh, he's a comedian, his name's Paul McDaniel, like clearly it's just Small Mc, like, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. And I just thought of that, and I was just like, man, like, that's why like UK people I think are so funny, because that's not for anyone.
No.
You know what I mean? That's just someone taking the time to do this and put it up, which in Australia you just wouldn't do. I'm sorry. Like, nobody's going to that kind of extra effort. But I just think British people there's just a little thing, like there's always time to make the joke.
Yeah.
Aye.
Whereas like maybe because like our country's more spread out where you got to drive or something.
Yeah, you know,
we
it's
just don't
too
have
big
those
a
kind of
country
minutes.
for a small McDaniel.
Yeah, and Australia is tall McDaniel. Like, that's the difference.
Well, listen, man, I think that, to be honest, we've done a good bit of time there. I think that about covers it. Just before we let you go, Daniel, thanks so much for joining us,
cheers,
mate. So you're at the Fringe this year. Obviously, tickets on sale for that at the moment.
I don't do tickets.
What?
I'm free Fringe, baby.
Oh.
Free Fringe till I die.
What room you in?
Cap Voltaire, main room.
Nice.
Oh,
So I
that's a
get
good
to hang
room.
out with little
Great
Monkey
room.
Barrel boys on the street. You guys on the street?
Yeah, man.
See you on the street?
Blair Street, Melbourne.
Yay! Love it.
Have you got anything else to plug? I know you've got a couple of specials available for people online.
Yeah, you can. I got like some albums on Spotify. I got like a free thing on YouTube, which is like my last night in London wearing the tracksuit for the first time. There you
Wow.
go. That's recorded. It's
you're not
fucking
wearing
handy
j-
that I decided to go on with it, huh?
Yeah, you're not wearing Jim Jefferies trousers in the bottom.
Should have kept him.
Aye.
I don't think you would have noticed. But yeah, I got a podcast as well. It's just me rambling. It's called creatively the Daniel Muggleton podcast.
Yeah.
But I will have a new special coming out soon. I just don't know where it's going.
Brilliant.
Because
Right.
I know, everyone's putting it on YouTube, and I'm going to put it on YouTube to try and find a streaming service.
Yeah.
It's currently being shopped around,
Interesting.
as is the industry logo, slogan rather. Yeah. But thanks so much for having me.
Nice.
It's very sweet, and to wear shorts as well.
It's been great.
Bottoms off.
That's it. We've not done a Tap Staff episode yet. Maybe one
Well,
day.
that's for
we'll-
the Patreon.
Yeah. All right, 100%.
Don't give that away on main.
No. But no, thanks for joining us, mate. Before we go, just a reminder, please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and you can follow us at SomeLaughPod on Instagram, TikTok and Twitter, and send any questions you've got for us to the email address, which is somelaughpod@gmail.com. But until next time, guys, we will speak to you soon.
Cheers.